Welcome to our daily gospel. My name is Herick and I will be here today, this Monday, sharing with you the gospel of the Lord. That today is taken from the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verses 13 to 19. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he put these questions to the disciples. Who do people say the Son of Man is? And they said, some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. But you say, he said, who do you say I am? The Simon Peter spoke up and said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus replied, Simon, son of Jonah, you are a blessed man, because it was no human agents that revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. So I now say to you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my community, and the gates of the underworld can never overpower it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whenever you bind on earth, will be bound in heaven. Whenever you loose on earth, will be loosed in heaven. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Today the Church celebrates the solemnity of Saint Peter and Saint Paul. And those two followers of Jesus, they lived a different lives. Peter, who was chosen by the Lord, by Jesus, he had the opportunity to live side by side with Jesus. Then the other side, we have St. Paul, who was a man who didn't have a chance to meet Jesus face to face. But both of them had a great conversion, a beautiful conversion, and they decided to leave Jesus. They decided to follow Jesus. The point is that one lived side by side, and Paul, he had an experience with Jesus, like the one that we have today. Every time that we have an experience and we have a conversion, we're more likely to be like Paul, because he had that experience. He felt in love with Jesus. He understood that the way of living his life was following Jesus' steps, even though he had never had a chance to look at Jesus face to face. And in the gospel here, in the very beginning, Jesus actually asked that to ourselves. He says, who do you say I am? And ask yourself that question. Who do you say I am? Thinking of Jesus, which way would you answer that question to Jesus? What would be your answer? So, for some people, Jesus was just a man in the history that lived a life that taught people how to live a good life, how to spread love. But for others, and for ourselves, or as a Christian community that came from the rock, that came from the beginning, from when Peter was the first pope established by the church, and from that rock that was Peter, the church was built. In that sense, Jesus was everything. As Peter answered here very wisely, he said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. So Peter was very wise, and he received the blessing from heaven, from God, to say that Jesus was the Son of the living God. And that's the Christ, that's the answer to say who Jesus is. Jesus is the love that is inside of us. Jesus is everything that will come inside to us. So, to finish up this reflection, thinking throughout the day, who do you think Jesus is for you? Is just a man in the history, or is your everything? Today I invite you as well to pray for the Pope. Peter was the first Pope of our church, and today in special, let's take a minute and let's say a prayer of the Pope's intentions and for the church, and that the church can keep doing the good things that is doing for the whole humanity. Let's do that. Thanks for watching and see you next time.